A very pleasant good afternoon as we welcome you into another edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox. And we welcome you in after a busy little weekend. Um,
What happened in Pittsburgh? Uh-oh. We're going live now.
no, we're live on the air here. And, yep, baseball series in Pittsburgh over the weekend. Thank you. And we have some updated rankings and other sports news we can get into. Go ahead.
Just it was a heck of a weekend down there in Pittsburgh. Big comeback Friday night, I didn't get down there, though. That's what I'm a little upset about, but with my in-laws, my mother-in-laws. So I gave Jeff the update of the. He said he didn't get to see much of it. I said, well, it was a great game on Friday. 6-run comeback for the Phillies, and then all of a sudden, the Pirates just went home. They didn't want to play anymore. It's a tough one. I think both Saturday and Sunday were 6-0, I believe. Sorry about that. Feel bad about Allen. We bet a case on each game, and then the series, and then if there's a sweep, Did you, honest to God, did you watch any of it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see Harper's home run Saturday night? The one that hit the batter's eye in dead center field. That ball was absolutely mauled.
Did not.
Yeah, it was 480-some feet. A no-brainer, as we call it in the business, Jeff. It's when a guy really hits the ball really, really far, and right off the bat, it's going to be a home run. So, yeah. So as the Ironhead tries to figure out our
Phillies
issues,
continue to be very impressive under Don Mattingly, even when Don Mattingly isn't there. Still an impressive run here that the Phillies have been on since the managerial change. And for the Pirates, just kind of feel like you wasted an opportunity to gain some momentum and get it was reminiscent to me of the Penn State Oregon football game this past year, where you kind of keep hyping stuff up, and it's like, all right, here we go, and then you let the fan base down. Again, the overall scheme of things is the 3-game stretch in May, that big of a deal? No, in Major League Baseball. But when you have the opportunity to get a fan base that has admittedly been reluctant to jump on that bandwagon, you have a chance to get them fully on board and engaged and fired up, and you jump out to the lead on Friday night, and you have Paul Skeens coming up on Sunday. It's like, oh, here you go. And then you get swept. And again, Pirates could still go on and do great things, but it just feels like you let an opportunity by the boards there in terms of getting the fan base fully engaged and ready to roll.
Reading through social media of Philadelphia fans and stuff like that. Again, everybody was taken aback about how nice the stadium was in Pittsburgh, and it was pretty awesome. So the Friday night home run that Schwarber hit, where we sat last year, we would have caught that ball. It totally would have hit us. It would have hit me right in the nose. So disappointed we didn't get down to the game or anything like that. But family calls. It is what it is. So, what did you get into this weekend, Jeffrey?
Overall, it was a pretty good weekend. Game 7 last night with the Canadiens ripping the hearts out of Sabres fans, and nothing quite like overtime Game 7 in Stanley Cup playoff hockey. It is just special stuff. And Montreal advances. You know, Goon, it's been a couple of years since a Canadian team. I don't know if anybody's picked up on this, but it's been a couple of years since a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup.
Not a Montreal Canadian team. Any Canadian team.
This is true.
1993.
Montreal is into the Eastern Conference Finals against a well-rested Carolina Hurricanes team.
So that 93 was my height. That was my NHL era. Remember who was on that team? It's a who's who. It's a very good team. You often have to think to yourself, why in the hell did they break it up? So just between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh fans alone, Recchi and Leclerc both played for the Montreal Canadiens in 1993. Patrick Roy, Eric Desjardins, the Flyers Hall of Fame defenseman. Claude Lemieux was on the Canadiens. Patrick Roy was their goalie. I mean, they were unbelievable. How did they? And they broke it up. They won that one cup, and that was it, man. They could have gone on a damn roll with the amount of players they had, the talent that was on that team, young and old. The 93 team. That was a fun year. That was the Gretzky and the Kings. That was when he made his run with the LA Kings in the conference final or the Stanley Cup finals. Yes, we're talking about 1993, Jeffrey.
Those were the days.
It's just crazy that I'm sitting there and remember all these players from the different teams that. I mean, did you hear the names I just said? They were all Montreal Canadiens. They were all young dudes, and they all went in the Hall of Fame careers. Like, imagine if they kept them in Montreal, for heaven's sake. Jeez Louise. They had some studs, man. But that's just crazy to me. I mean, I know that's the point of the whole what she said, but 1993 was the last time a Canadian team won a Stanley Cup. It's their game, for heaven's sake. That's got to be horrible for them.
Could this be the year?
I hope not.
That it all changes.
No, I don't think that anybody other than Carolina and the Colorado Avalanche had a shot at this thing. Though Vegas is now playing in their fifth conference title game, and they've only been around for how many years?
Yeah, it's
the early success of that program has been outstanding. But, yeah, it's going to be Carolina, I mean, who hasn't lost a game yet this playoff. They've had a lot of rest. And they're going to
they are not exactly
I did see a stat
pushing themselves.
Today.
Kind of like the Phillies bullpen.
Yeah. I did see a stat today that a Game 7 winner versus a sweep winner is 7-1. Well, last 8 times it's happened. The Game 7 winner has won the series. And that just gets down to it. You face adversity when you're playing in those Game 7s and stuff like that where, Carolina hasn't had to face adversity. God bless them, but the Flyers were, they were a speed bump on the Carolina. No offense, but the Penguins would have been in the same speed bump too.
Yeah. So
it was just the question of who won the Flyers-Penguins series to get slaughtered by the Hurricanes. So
yeah, it'll be fun to see how it plays out. The couple of notes on the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club and the Penn State Wrestling team is again, we're expecting final approval this week on the 5-for-5 implementation in college sports, meaning we will go into the upcoming school year if this passes as expected on Friday. We'll go into the 26-27 school year with starting with that year, athletes will have 5 years to use 5 years of eligibility, meaning the red shirt is gone.
The medical red shirt is
now
gone.
there are some different things that are being kicked around, and we'll just see what the final passage is. Already, just read there are some athletes who have hired lawyers, and they are ready to go to court with the NCAA, wanting either a redshirt year back or a fifth year given if they've only used 4 years in 4 years to this point. So, again,
that's
we'll
the
see how all
downside of
that
what's going to
plays
go
out.
down is guys who have not redshirted, they don't have an opportunity to play a fifth year.
Correct. As it currently stands.
And that's your feel is you don't like that.
Is correct. Well, no, not me. I'm saying that the athletes are there are athletes that are lining up
So let me put this in perspective. 1991, I redshirted. If they instituted in 1995 at fifth year, I'm one of the guys going in there and saying I want my fifth year. Is that what you're saying? If they instituted in 1995.
I mean, I guess potentially it's more the guys that have done 4 years in 4 years
who didn't redshirt.
But again, all of that is is going to play out through the court system. And again, I'm presuming, and it seems a virtual certainty that this is going to pass.
And if that's the law of the land, then
deal.
honor it. Don't sit there and there's an opportunity to get a fifth year if you apply for it, and then go right down the same damn route that they have in the past. And like I said, when I was playing, it was so hard to get that extra year, that sixth year. Let's just say that. And now they're just keep it like that. You got 5 years to get 5 years, and that's it. Don't sit there and say, well, you did get hurt, or you got suspended. There's we're going to look into getting you another year. Oh, no. I mean, you got 5 to do 5. I don't think I like it personally, but it is, if that's the rule, then we got to live by it. You got to work around it and get it done. Your thought?
If that ends up being the rule. Again, I don't know. From a legal standpoint, I think that they're going to have, they being the NCAA, are going to have their hands full here trying to implement this or much of anything in regulating college athletics. I still don't know moving forward. I mean, we've been talking about this, and I've been digging through some articles. The biggest challenge. Well, yeah, I think it might be the biggest challenge right now for college athletics is figuring out how to set up collective bargaining, and really it's the athletes who have to figure out how they want to go about setting it up. And again, part of it is who is negotiating with whom. Meaning, again, we have a bunch of different sports out there with different needs, bringing in, either bringing in or more often than not, costing athletic departments widely varying amounts. You have widely varying roster sizes, and really you have widely varying like within conferences even very different programs, meaning even within a given conference there may be one school that has 24 varsity programs and maybe make up a number 14 that they're wanting to kind of go in on financially in terms of splitting up some of the NIL money or the revenue. I guess not NIL now. It's the revenue that is being set aside. And, within that same conference, you may have another school that has 34 varsity programs, and they're looking to fund. I mean, the extreme could be they're looking to fund even fewer, right? Like they have a bigger overall program, but maybe they're like, hey, yeah, but we want to put all of our eggs in these 10 baskets over here instead of the 20 or 24 or anything in between. And again, there's just so many moving parts to this. And I think trying to figure out, one, who is going to negotiate on behalf of the student athletes and how that gets done is very complex. And then on the other end of it, is it the NCAA, which to me seems unlikely? Is it a new governing organization for college sports, or is it an entity, a conference or a group of conferences that gets together and somehow has a centralized negotiating department or legal department, or is it with the schools themselves, which again, then you have chaos ultimately reigning supreme here because one school can set it up entirely differently than another school. I don't know. It is such a mess right now, and there's a lot of people trying to figure out, a lot of very smart people trying to figure out how to get this thing, how to get a handle on it, and how to get this to a point where it can be managed moving forward. And again, the 5-for-5 thing, the NCAA is going to implement it, and right away there are going to be athletes, there already are athletes saying, who are you to tell me I have to stop after 5 years? And again, there's just so many so many moving parts and so many legal aspects to this that I think it's going to be a while, like several years, until we start to figure out how this is really settling out in the world of college athletics. And, Booch and I were talking last week. I just, at the end of the day, and I think we were talking about it too, at the end of the day, I don't see how you're not going to have the elimination of a ton of scholarship opportunities at the collegiate level, because again, the incentive for football and basketball programs that are revenue producers to share that revenue is what exactly? Just that they're big-hearted individuals? Again, you can make the argument as an athletic department, hey, yeah, this is how we want to do it. But I think it's hard to make that argument if you are a football player or a basketball player and you're trying to get, as much of the pie that you are bringing in, your sport is bringing in. I think it's a hard sell that, by golly, we want to keep divvying that pie up 14 ways instead of the potential 2 ways where we could maybe make some real life-changing money across the board here for however long that lasts.
I sent you that article on Notre Dame dropping sports programs. I mean, that's how it's going to happen.
I don't think they're dropping
looking
programs.
into it.
I think no, I don't think. I think it's just like Penn State is doing. They'll keep the sports. It's just they're not going to be paying the athletes in some of the sports. Was at least my understanding of it. Which is what pretty much all schools
out there trying to pay all of their athletes.
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe there are. there could be some SEC schools that are doing it that, where you have 12 or 14 programs. And, you want to be one of the best in all of those sports. But even there, like, you're not going quote unquote all in. Like, there's no athletic department that is fully funding the maximum number of scholarships and paying top dollar compared to other top programs in the sport across the board, right? Like, you're not. I don't think you can, because again, some schools are going to, like Connecticut, I am presuming, is like, hey, yeah, women's basketball is a huge deal for us and brings in, people. Again, it might not be a money maker, but it is an identity maker for the school. And so they may be going all in on that, but they're not going all in on, again, you can't go all in on all of the sports. There's just not enough money to go around and make that possible. If you did it in all of the sports, then you wouldn't be doing it in football or basketball, because there are schools out there that are doing just football and basketball. So you're not competing evenly, for sure, if that's what you end up doing, is trying to spread it all around your athletic department. I can't imagine, even in the SEC, I don't know this for sure. Try to do a little digging around. I can't imagine that there is an athletic department out there that is paying all of its student athletes.
No.
Again, I don't know that for sure, but I can't imagine that's the case, that there's even one.
You're talking about the profit sharing, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that's just spread around Penn State. Well, did we figure that out? That 70% goes to football of that profit share?
I don't know.
And then basketball gets about 10%, and the other 20% goes to other athletes. I think that was the rough breakdown of it. We don't know everything that goes into it, and I've had arguments with people that said, no, that the revenue share is not NIL money, that's just their pay. And I'm like, no, it's NIL money, because they're using that money to pay NIL contracts. Correct? Or am I off on this?
I don't think so. I think that's just the revenue now that the school is paying.
The school is paying the athletes.
Correct.
But they're using that
via the conference. But I mean, the conference is
$59 million we got last week.
Yeah, I think 22 million roughly. And I might be off on that. But I think it's 22
they got a conference check for the
goes
TV
to
rights
the
for
student athletes.
$59 million was what Penn State got. So they're saying that 23 million of that goes to the athletes. And I think 70% of that goes to football, 10% goes to basketball, and then the other 20% goes to the other rest of the sports that are involved.
That I don't know. I mean, every school's different.
Yeah,
but the schools get to determine how what.
No, but I had people saying that so that 63 million that they got, and then they got the 20 million profit share. That's not NIL money. They try to tell me that they get that on top of the NIL, and I said no, that's not how it works, because there's no way in hell the university could afford that, paying NIL without using the contract money for the media rights. The $59 million that they broke down, they gave Ohio State $60 million. We got 59. And then you got to add in, Jeffrey, our newest. I want to know how much the Adidas thing is going to change Penn State's pay scales. Because that's a nice influx of money right there that Nike was not giving us, that there's more money coming into our university, in our athletic budget and stuff like that. That's not considered for the athletes, correct? Because they're getting their money from the media rights and stuff like that. This is why you have to have somebody who knows what the hell we're doing, because it's so out there. Am I right in saying that? It's like there's so many things that go into this that somebody would be like, no, that's not it, or yes, that's it, or it's crazy to think about. So we're getting an Adidas check for $30 million for 10 years for $300 million is what Adidas is paying us for a 10-year contract or something like that. And that's just straight to the school. So that's $30 more million into the university, into the athletic department, or it could be school though. I don't know. Either way, it's good.
Yeah, it looks like about 20. Let's see. Well, 72% of the revenue goes to football at Penn State.
Okay,
roughly
105 guys, and we figured this out the one time. So you figure 105 guys split in 72%, even though it's not equal. It is what it is. But there's only 12 basketball players, and they're splitting 10 or 12%. And then the other sports. Do our wrestlers get some more money from NIL than other schools? And is that coming from that money? See, this is where that's my question.
Yes, they would get more than most schools. Yeah, for sure.
And they could actually still go out and find their own stuff, correct? Their own advertisements.
Yes.
Okay. It's another argument I had with somebody who they're trying to tell me that, no, you can't do that. You can't go out and get, because I always kid around that I'd be covered in Moon Tire and Raskeller signs on my helmet and on my jersey back in the day. And somebody said, well, you can't do that anyway. You can't go out and solicit. And I said, the hell you can't. The individual can go out and get whatever the hell he wants. Or am I wrong on that?
No, that is true.
Okay. See, it's a good time to be a player.
Yeah, we'll take a break here and be back with much more. It is our Tuesday edition of the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here on Sports Radio 98.7 The Fox.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox, State College.
And back here on a Tuesday afternoon, it's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. We are at Quaker Steak and Lube, our home away from home on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. We are here from 2 to 4 on those days, most of the time. And the extra benefit on Tuesdays, we have the all-you-can-eat wing buffet, which gets underway right as we go off the air, coincidentally enough. And you can come on down starting at 4 o'clock or anytime thereafter and partake. If you're a wing lover, this is a great opportunity to try all of the different wings that they have here and all of the side dishes that come with it and enjoy to your heart's content. Also a great place to come on down and watch your favorite sports teams as they have the TVs located all throughout the restaurant. Of course, great food, great beverages, and the best service you'll find in our area.
Mm-hmm. And the little gift card sale going on this summertime.
Bonus.
For your moms, dads, and grads. Good sales work there, boys and girls. Yeah, you buy 50, you get a $10 bonus card. So come on down and take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy not to.
I know it's our town again, Jeffrey.
For a little bit, that is indeed the case.
We and Carrie were driving home today, and I looked at her and I said, "Oh, it's summertime," and she goes, "Oh, that's right. Wow, you like going downtown and you're enjoying the restaurants and enjoying the different bars and stuff like that you can't do when the students are in town." So it is we do enjoy bringing the dogs down and doggies and sitting outside having a few beers in the beer garden with the puppy dogs who like that.
Hard to not enjoy that.
True.
That opportunity.
We end up at the brewery to end the night normally anyway. So, one of the great fan of the program, Ray Rocky at the brewery. Fantastic time. But, it is funny how am I a local yet? I'm not, right?
I'd say you're a local.
Come on. I'm not.
No.
I don't know. Don't say I am.
All right.
I ever tell you the stories when we were in college? We used to have the offensive line versus the wide receivers was a wrestling, all-star wrestling, WWF style in the locker room. It was always O-line versus wide receivers. And then we declared it on the State College area, high school student athletes.
Nice.
We had about 10 guys on our team that were walked on from State High.
Yeah.
And we would just throw random beatings on them. And I just laughed. Me and Bucky always kid around. So, here I am. Now I'm a local now. I have become what I detested in college.
There you go.
So let me think here. Let me tell two of the great ones. At the Rose Bowl, Curly was in an elevator with me and Bucky Greeley, and Bucky stands up behind him and he goes, "Don't think we don't know where you went to high school, punk." Tim Curley turned around and looked at us with like the look of fear and bewilderment, like, what the hell are you talking about? And then understood what he was talking about, and then we had a great laugh about it. So, and then Ace was getting breakfast. Jim Williams was one of our executive assistants. He had coached the state college team back in the 60s and 70s.
To a state title.
Yep. And Bucky told him, "Hey, listen, we know you coached Ace. Don't think you're going to get away with this." So there was a hit out on Ace and Tim Curley, amongst others. And now look at us. Now I'm local yokel Ironhead.
Welcome to the townie crew.
Nah. No, but I do thoroughly, and everybody out there, go out and enjoy downtown now. It's that time of year. Not this weekend, by the way. I don't know if you've looked at the weather, but I just did. It's in the 40s on Saturday.
That's what they're saying.
Are you kidding me? It was 92 degrees in northwest Pennsylvania yesterday.
Going to get a little bit of rain over the weekend as well.
Bad weekend for our boys' Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's not ideal, that is for sure.
And the week after is Coach's first cancer. Were you part of that this year again?
Did
you?
I think so.
Are you going to honor somebody with your
playing expertise? Yes. How could I not?
With your high IQ golf game.
That's right. Yeah, that is definitely one of the fun events of the summer. I don't know. Have you been? I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it's just like Penn State football. Anytime anything happens, everybody weighs in on it, and it's. I guess it just speaks to the passion around the fan base. But it was like Will Howard was the second quarterback to take snaps at an OTA in May, and people are like, Howard has jumped ahead of Mason Rudolph. It's like, well, or they just wanted to kind of get some reps early on to get an idea of kind of where he is at this stage of things.
I just can't believe that the Steelers signed up for this fiasco.
Well, I mean, what were they not? What else were they going to do? I mean, it was kind of, and I will say, Aaron Rodgers, at least from everything. I mean, I'm not in there. Obviously, you're relying on the reporting and what the players are saying, but assuming everybody is being genuine, and I guess I am, they liked having Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback last year, and they were, I think, to a man, hoping that he would come back again this year. I think he's been, at least in Pittsburgh, a good locker room guy. And again, it's not an ideal situation, but what are the alternatives at this stage? And again, I think what is interesting is, to me, do the Steelers figure out a way to keep 4 quarterbacks in the upcoming season? Because I think the issue right now is, if Rodgers goes down, and we all, at least the majority of us, presumed he would last year, and I think he only missed the one start, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, but he didn't miss much time anyway. I think it was just the one start he missed last year. So, yes, do I think it is likely that at some point you'll need a number 2 quarterback for a stretch of the season? Yes. And right now, as we sit here again in May, Mason Rudolph would be the guy that you would think would be that guy right now, just with the experience he has, the understanding of the offense, all of that. I think at this point, the Steelers internally probably have some idea, although maybe that changes with Mike McCarthy as your head coach, but have some idea that, you know what, we think Will Howard could be our franchise quarterback of the future.
So Howard was taking snaps over top of Mason Rudolph.
In an OTA,
I got
yes,
you. I understand.
in the first OTA. So, I don't. Yes, and you know whether today Aller takes the snap second. I think people are trying to read a lot more into that than what is there at this stage. And even if it is a situation where the Steelers are like, no, Will Howard is our 2 guy. Again, he's your 2 guy in the middle of May. Does that mean anything if ultimately he ends up being your 4 guy? But I think really what this offseason is about for the Steelers is, do they have enough faith that Howard and or Aller could step in and this season navigate for a few games as the starter, and you're okay letting Rudolph go? Or is it a situation where you want to have again, I think 4 quarterbacks is a real possibility here for the Steelers in the upcoming season until they kind of figure out, all right,
they'd have to be rostered too.
Does Aller is Aller a guy that they think could be a franchise type guy? Is Howard that type of a guy? Do they have 2 guys that they think could end up being that caliber of quarterback? Or does it become readily apparent that one or the other, is not? It seems unlikely that they would give up on Aller after taking him in the 3rd round before the season begins. You think you're at least, hey, let's see if with a year of development we can get him to where we think he can be. It's a fascinating conundrum that the Steelers find themselves in. And again, it's not an ideal situation, but I think it's, at the end of the day, about as good as the Steelers could have hoped for at this point, where you have a quarterback that I think if you can give him some time, is still a very effective quarterback and can help your younger guys. You have a number 2 in Rudolph, who has experience and who has shown he can get you through a short period of time if need be. And then I think you have 2 promising quarterbacks. I mean, I still, Will Howard, I just think has that moxie, if you will, and a guy that just has, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and that competitive spirit. And I think he's a guy that now with, Mike McCarthy, who's known for developing quarterbacks, I think he could take a big jump over wherever he was last year. And from the public standpoint, we have no idea where that was. Like, we never got a chance to see it. So, and again, when I say they have some idea internally, that doesn't necessarily mean you don't know how a guy really is going to be until you see him out there in actual games. And again, we've had plenty of guys who are, great at reading things in practice, making plays in practice when they have a pretty good idea of what the defenses are and the defense's abilities. And then you go out there and, a game where you don't know what the other team is doing, and you struggle, and some never figure that out. And Aller's obviously just a fascinating project right now for the Steelers, in that he has all of the physical tools in the world, and there is wide-ranging debate over whether it was just that the mechanics weren't developed at Penn State, whether the way Penn State coached him got into his head, or whether he himself just doesn't have the it factor, if you will, to be that next level quarterback where, hey, when the game's on the line, I'm the guy that's going to deliver the ball and make the clutch play. And I don't think anybody, I've seen people speculating on it, and I have my guesswork on it, but that's all it is. There's no way we could know how Drew Aller is or isn't going to develop. And I think it's going to be one of the more fascinating developments, both with the Steelers and just in the NFL, is, 10 years from now, where is Drew Aller and what are we looking at him as? And for that matter, Will Howard's kind of the same thing. What are we going to be saying about him in 10 years, and what is going to be the trajectory of both of their careers?
It's interesting, and me and you have been on Howard's train for a year now, saying it was a great spot for him to get picked by the Steelers and stuff like that. But now he's in a different role now, with Aller being the 3rd round draft pick right behind him 1 year. So maybe they are giving Howard the shot right now and saying, hey, let's see what you can do, because we feel as if we're okay. But they have not made these decisions in May,
Correct.
So they still haven't gone against live anything. Like you watch the workout of Aller and him getting coached and stuff like that, and all it is just people piling on James Franklin. It's crazy how much of that is going on, not just in Pittsburgh and in State College, and a lot of places that people are saying all of this. So I'd like to see Drew do very, very well there, but I don't think that the Howard thing is over. I think that Howard, national championship winning quarterback, I just think that the Steelers said, okay, Aller's a good opportunity here. Maybe they use Howard as a trade piece. Or, obviously the Steelers are not known to waste a lot of money. They do want to keep 3 quarterbacks, and maybe they think that, hey, Mason, we know what he can do. Let's see what Howard and Aller can do, and if they can now play him, we'll get rid of Mason. Who knows? Who knows how it's working out? Again, it's May.
Yes.
I was disgusted the other day, Monday morning, when there was ESPN was on at my in-laws' house, and the morning show was on there, and there was an article or an interview about what ice cream Aaron Rodgers had Sunday night at a local.
Well, there you go.
At a local ice cream restaurant in the Pittsburgh area, and they were talking about the flavor that he had eaten and stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, okay, we've officially jumped the shark.
Well, but that is what passionate fan bases do.
Okay.
I mean, you're just looking to create.
I know it's
story opportunities.
The 24-hour news cycle it gets slow at times, and that comes out, and it's like, this is so bad, this is so stupid. But I guess I get it. I understand it. I'm watching TV up here at the Lube right now, and it's the Sixers or the Eagles' last Super Bowl winning season. But they have that, they're looking back on that season right now. So
you got that going.
Speaking of fanatics, this looks good, by the way. Pressure.
Well, the Eagles,
the D-Day movie coming out here in May.
The Eagles quarterback situation is going to be worth watching in the upcoming season as well, and it is amazing to me the degree to which we, the collective media and fan bases, put on rankings, and if your guy isn't in this end of the ranking, I mean, Jalen Hurts has been remarkably productive, and more importantly, the Eagles' offense has been remarkably productive with him at quarterback. I go back again. When going all the way back to when I was a kiddo and Terry Bradshaw's leading the Steelers, and there were Steelers fans, and I knew some of them as a kid, and they would rail against Terry Bradshaw, and it's like, well, but it is working with him. Like I get if it's not working, and maybe your quarterback is going to get more blame than he should, and okay, if you want to say they're getting more credit than they should, fine. But at the end of the day, if what you want is a quarterback who is getting your offense down the field, whether it's again him, you want a quarterback who, with him at the helm of your offense, that offense is getting down the field. And if it's through the run game, or it's just great plays by the receivers, or whatever it is, okay, ride that. Like, does it matter whether you have a top 3 quarterback or a top 5 or even a top 10 guy? If you have a guy that is effectively leading your offense, I don't know. I am fascinated by the ongoing consternation that fans have with Jalen Hurts, that Eagles fans have with Jalen Hurts. And
I don't know if it's even the Eagles fans. I mean, I just think it's the Eagles, like the media.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's just
there.
insane. Like, it's constant. Like, the man has won a Super Bowl MVP. He has won a Super Bowl. There's not many guys out there who can say that.
No.
And he still has to prove himself every year. I saw him ranked in the top 40 quarterbacks. He was 11 or 12 last week. Now, I get it. Last year was not a good year for him. Looks like if he doesn't have the run option in his game is it gets shut down pretty quick and rather easy. So he does need to stay healthy with the ability to, and the threat of running, it still has to be there for him to be successful.
But most quarterbacks, as they go along, lose some of that ability. And what you hope for, right, is that they then make up for that. All Aaron Rodgers, and you can debate the degree to which he's made up for it. But I mean, the savviness that comes with the experience. And all right, I have to change my game now a little bit because I don't have the elusive ability that I did at
Michael Vick learned that.
When he
got slowed down a little bit, and it was like, all right. I mean, Colin Kaepernick learned that when he started getting beat up a little bit, and he didn't have that run option. That the game's a lot harder when you have to play as a true drop back quarterback if you can't have the threat of the run. So, Vick is a big example of that.
Yeah,
of how good his game was when there was the threat of the run, and he could run just the same as Jalen Hurts. But when that goes away and that threat isn't there, he's an average quarterback. So, I don't have a problem with Jalen. I've told you before, he's my favorite college football player of all time.
Yeah,
because of how he handled himself and getting benched and not complaining and crying and going transfer portal. He's one of the last guys who could actually say that, and took his benching, said, "I'm not leaving Alabama." Did not leave Alabama, and then a year later, when he was not starting quarterback, Tua gets hurt, and he goes in and wins the national title. God bless him. That's the kind of guy you want as your quarterback on your team and your program. So I like it a lot. Who we got here? I didn't get. Did anybody go down to the games this weekend? I know your boy was.
It was a full house for all three. games at PNC Park this weekend. So a fun weekend for baseball. Lots of
rivalry stuff, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of good series, lots of intriguing results. And then we have the Padres and Dodgers this week. That series started last night. And one of the things that is interesting in sports, just in general, is there is a difference, especially in team sports, between being talented, being maybe the most talented team, and being the best team, the most productive team. And again, that's what, to me, it goes back to, hey, if a quarterback is working with your offense, or a middle linebacker is working with your defense, or whatever it may be, I ride it.
Yeah,
like just you roll with that, and if
anybody does that, the NFL will do that.
And if he's the 15th best, so be it. The Padres this year, and I only follow the Padres because my kiddo has gotten into them, and Fernando Tatis was the original impetus, and I'm not even sure. I don't, just for whatever reason he was drawn to him, and so we're Padres fans just for no real reason other than it just appealed to him a few years ago, and he's kind of stuck with it. But the Padres are actually a really fascinating story this year in that they are not hitting the ball well at all as a team. And Tatis is, I'm not sure what he's done the last few days, in fairness. I've taken my eye off of the ball with him for the last few days. But he has been having a horrible season offensively to this point. And they're not pitching well. Well, if you say that out loud. The team's not hitting well. They're not pitching well. When I say not well, like there are 20 teams or more ahead of them in batting average, in home runs, in ERA, and right now, as going into game 2 of their series with the Dodgers tonight, the Padres are a half game ahead of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, if I had told you at the start of the season that a team that was in the bottom half of Major League Baseball in both batting average and ERA would be ahead of the LA Dodgers in the standings, right? You'd be like, well, okay. I mean, you need to have your head examined. There's 0% chance that would be the case. But what the Padres have done is just they find ways to win games. And there's, we talk about it probably too much, but confidence is just such a big part of sports. And if you go up there full of confidence and, you're batting 200, but you're like, man, yep, I want to be in this clutch spot and I'm going to come through here. It just... And again, it has to be confidence born from something like your work ethic or what you're seeing, what you've done. All of that plays into it, obviously, as well. But I'm just telling you, the Padres look at their numbers this year, and it is inexplicable that they would be ahead of the Dodgers right now, but they are. And the good news for San Diego fans is the likelihood of Tatis continuing to be as bad as he has been, or that pitching staff continuing to struggle to the degree they have, so that if they just start playing somewhat like they were a year ago, or some of their key players do, I mean, there is every reason to believe that they are in this thing for the long haul and could overtake the Dodgers as the team in the National League West. Again, they've been there each of the last couple of years for most of the season anyway. But it's just amazing to watch a team struggle statistically the way they have this year and still produce the results that they have to this point in the year. And we were just reading, and maybe we'll kick this around on the other side. We'll take a break here on the other side. But Penn State, CBS Sports, I like looking at those, there's Major League Power rankings, and they can change and fluctuate pretty significantly from one week to the next. And for whatever it's worth, and it's not really worth anything, but it's an interesting discussion point. CBS Sports came out with its after spring practice, the rankings for the big, I'm sure they've done it for all the conference, but they have the Big Ten rankings coming out of spring practice. And Penn State is 6th, and that feels about right for where they should be projected right now, because there is a lot of uncertainty about how this is going to come together. But I want to talk a little bit about their rankings and just kind of how some things appear to be playing out in the conference at this point. And again, some things worth keeping an eye on in the upcoming season. So we'll talk some college football when we return. This is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show from Quaker Steak Lube.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs. literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.
And back here on a Tuesday afternoon. Again, we are at Quaker Steak and Lube. Great place to come on down and enjoy great food, great beverages, and great service. They have TVs on all over the place with sports on those TVs. Great place to come on down and watch the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. If you're into the NBA playoffs, which just not, but they do have those games on as well. Major League Baseball, and again, they'll have whatever the big sports events of the day are. PGA Championship over the weekend.
That was a great one.
Yeah, about as it's great a final, 9-10 holes as you could have to win it.
All right, I got to ask you, as an outsider,
yeah,
watching that tournament, and it's golf, hearing the Mutants doing the EAGLES Eagles chants. I mean, it's funny to me, knowing I'm one of the mutants and stuff like that, but not as big a mutant.
Uh-huh.
But as an outsider, how big of a mutant is it?
I mean,
I find it fun.
I think anytime you can get away from the generally accepted perceived stuffiness of golf, it is good for the sport.
I love the way
myself.
Scheffler was handling it. I really, really did. I just thought that he handled it great. He was just laughing and, would you accept the cheesesteak from an Eagles fan? He goes, absolutely not. I would accept nothing. So I thought Aronimak did a hell of a job down there with the golf course. Just looked absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
it didn't look like I was there watching it until when he hit that 68 footer on 16 or 17. I was like, well, I'm going to go outside and enjoy the weather here a little bit outside. So an impressive round. And what I'm very disappointed in, and no one mentioned Jeffrey, is that he wears 2 black gloves like D'Annunzio from Caddyshack. Not one mention of it. Not one.
Huh. Aaron Rye was just,
he was on fire, man.
Again, it's hard to imagine that back nine being played better, particularly under the circumstances when you've not won a major before and all of that. It just was precision golf by Rye.
There was dudes nipping at him the whole day, and he just never let it affect him
at all.
Played his game and did what he had to do, and went out there, and he won the damn thing.
Yeah. No, it really, really was very impressive. I'm trying to find the story here. I lost it on the college football rankings for the Big Ten coming out of spring practice.
You said we're ranked 6th. So
Penn State, yes, is 6th. Ohio State, in a shocking development, is number 1. Oregon is number 2, and you feel like Ohio State and Oregon are always going to be there. Indiana is going to be.
I'm very interested.
Yes, a lot of people are curious to see now how Indiana responds after winning the national championship, getting the Heisman Trophy winner. Obviously, they're losing Fernando Mendoza, who was a big part of the success. But I think you'd be, I mean, the factor was Kurt Signetti, and so you get the feeling Signetti is just always going to coach with a chip on his shoulder, and I think he is loving that he gets to go into his team now and say, they're telling you can't do this without Mendoza, and we just need to execute. It's all about execution. It is going to be really interesting to see how Indiana plays out this coming season and then the next few years. Like, is this, because it feels to me like this is sustainable. Now, I don't mean necessarily that they're going to win multiple national titles here under Signetti, although I would not rule that out. But I do, I think they're going to be in the mix here and in the upper echelon for sure in the Big Ten for as long as Signetti is there, is at least what I'm expecting. Now, so those are the top three, and I think going into the year, those are rightfully the top three programs in whatever order you want to put them in, and I'm probably on board with that order. Ohio State 1, Oregon 2, and then Indiana 3. But after those top three, to me, Goon, it feels anyway. It feels pretty wide open. Now CBS Sports has USC in at number 4. And it does feel like USC is the program that is on the way up and is knocking on the door here of being, at the very least a playoff team, if not a Final Four type of program out of the Big Ten. And then you have Michigan at 5 and then Penn State at 6. And I think all three of those programs going into the season, all three of those teams, I don't think it'd be shocking to see any of those three crash the party and get into the Big Ten title game. If, Ohio State or Oregon or Indiana stumble somewhere along the way. I think all three of those programs have enough talent, enough coaching, all of that it wouldn't be terribly surprising to see them in the mix.
Yeah. Let me give you a little story. Remember, my old partner Sweeney, you worked with him, I worked with him.
Yep.
He left here to become his high school football coach at Derry High School. Small little school outside of Pittsburgh, outside of Lake Trobe, PA. And I may have even told you this, but he said they had lost 4 straight seasons. They were 0-44, something like that, So he had these kids in a WPIAL final game within 3 years. It was at the Hines when it was Hines.
Yep.
So they lost Aliquippa, all this and all that. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. But at his 5th and 6th season, he said that they had lost their mojo. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, they weren't hungry. These kids, they only ever knew winning. And they weren't hungry and not realizing how hard they had to work to go from 0-44 to 12-0. So there's an Indiana team right there. That's a classic example of, they knew how bad they were. Horrible. For how long? And all those kids were part of that. When does that change? And then sit there and say, okay, well, you know what? This was not an anomaly. Mendoza was Mendoza. Yeah, we won the Heisman Trophy, won a national title, but this is the norm now here at Indiana. And he has to have those kids buying in at all times because that's what he is. He's a motivator. He's a hell of a damn coach is what he is, Kurt Signetti. So very interested to see how that dichotomy works this year. What is he using this year to pump these kids up other than saying, and then, I pretty much know he's going to say, hey, these guys are going to be so ingrained in their heads that they think it was a fluke. You got to prove it wasn't a fluke. He's going to have them so backs against the wall, us versus the world type of thing.
Yep.
that's the route he's going to go. Will be interesting to see. Okay, if we're going to go back here, USC at 5 or 4, excuse me.
Yeah,
right. That's the right call. They are in flux. They could be 14 or 4. It's like they could be 1 or 14, I should say, even 18. To be honest with you, they are at a weird time right now. I think Lincoln Riley is at a weird time in his career out there.
It is a crucial year. There's no question about
that. He needs to win ASAP. And what is he going to do what's he going to change to go out there and make those changes to win all these games? Michigan, rightfully placed where they're at, and I think that we're rightfully placed.
I think
Two
so
brand
too.
new coaches.
Yep.
Coming off of, Michigan had a great season coming off of what was the national championship season. So this was their recovery year last year. That was a hell of a year for them.
Yep.
And then with a lot of the crap that went on with the coaching staff and the different things that have gone on there, and they've done well.
Yeah, they've been.
But I think
able to
we're in
hold
a right spot
steady.
at 6. Unproven head coach at Penn State at a Big Ten institution.
Yep.
Now, do I think that a lot of things go in and work in our favor? Yeah. I think that, we got a coach coming over here from Iowa State who bought 32 of his own players. And people are going to say, well, that's Iowa State players. I don't care. Kurt Cignetti bought JMU players to Indiana and won a national freaking title. It's all on how you play and how you guys react together and play together. So super excited for Campbell to see what he could do with this team next year. But I have no problem with any of those rankings of where they put those teams.
I don't either. It feels that feels about right in terms of where expectations should be. And actually, you go right down the line because Washington is 7th, and I do feel like that's a program also that's ready to make a move back into the upper echelon here of the conference. You could kind of see that coming last year. Now, part of it is going to be how well does everything hold together there with some of the off-season, hey, I'm transferring. No, I love Washington. Of course I'm coming back. But talent-wise, I think that's 7 is a pretty reasonable spot. I was sitting there at 8, which they feel like they're kind of – that's about where they are.
I agree.
Pretty consistently. Illinois is 9. Nebraska is 10. Nebraska is really interesting to me, Goon. I obviously, as a state high Penn State person, I want Matt Rule to do really well there. It does not feel like it's coming together the way I think he or Matt Rule fans or Nebraska fans were hoping. And I thought last season was a critical season. And while they did not light the world on fire, Matt Rule is clearly ingrained, at least with the administration. I think the fan base, as always, is going to be split when you're not getting the on-field results you want. But I think they being the administration, I think they like the approach Matt Rule takes. I think they see the vision that he has for the program, the type of leader he is. And I think they are settled on Matt Rule for the foreseeable future. And in college sports these days, that's probably 2 years. So I get it. I'm not saying he's going to be there for the next decade, but I think they're pretty committed to him, and I think he's pretty committed to that program now.
So real quick, did he get an extension?
And I don't know how hard it is going to be. It feels like it's going to be very difficult for them to move up more than a couple of spots there. I certainly don't see them in the upcoming season anyway. And really, with the way recruiting's going for them, it's hard to see them getting into that top 6 neighborhood in the conference. Now, Big Ten is a very good conference. You can have a really good team, a really good program at 7 or 8. Again, Washington and Iowa are ranked 7th and 8th right now. I don't think there's many people that follow college football that would not say those are two really solid programs, Washington and Iowa. So it's not that you need to be in the top 6 to feel good about it, but given Nebraska's history and what I think they expect, like that, 7th or 8th isn't going to get you into the college football playoffs is the thing. And
depends on who's voting. What are we at now? 56 teams going to be in the tournament now.
So Nebraska's 10, Minnesota is 11, and then Northwestern is 12. Friday night game. I just
I'm going. We're going to head out.
Are you?
You want to go?
No, I do not. UCLA is 13, Maryland 14, Wisconsin, Goon, is 15.
You mentioned that earlier when we were having our lunch, and I choked on a piece of broccoli.
And I mean, and that feels right. Like that's Rutgers 16, Michigan State 17, Purdue 18. But
Sparty
Wisconsin
being 17 is pretty.
Yeah,
but Wisconsin, you're right. I mean, that was a dominant program for good 2 decades.
Yeah, I do think I'll be following Michigan State for the next few years. Just I really like Pat Fitzgerald. I think he's a great person. I think he's a great coach. He was obviously a terrific player when he played at Northwestern. I think
he's all right.
I think he got the short end of the stick, putting it mildly, at Northwestern, and I think he's a heck of a football coach, and I will not be surprised if Michigan State pretty significantly surpasses expectations this year. Again, I'm not saying there'll be a top 6 Big Ten
he's
program.
Like a Signetti guy. He has an opportunity, and he's going to have better athletes at Michigan State than he's ever had at Northwestern.
And I think with both of them, and I think it's I guess it's what every coach is trying to do. You just execute, but Signetti, I mean, he gets his guys to execute.
Yep.
Like whatever it is, however he does it, they execute. Pat Fitzgerald was the same thing at Northwestern, and it's hard to imagine. Again, Michigan State might lose because they're a little slower, they're a little smaller. Much like Indiana, though, they're not going to lose because they got outfought. Like I don't think that's going to be the case under Pat Fitzgerald. And in football, you could win a lot of games if you're just a little tougher. You're willing to have a little more grit in the tough spots over the course of 4 quarters than your opponent. And we'll see. I think Michigan State is the one team that they're probably ranked in terms of expectations where they should be. That is the one team that feels like it could make a significant move up. Like everybody else, okay, I could see Penn State getting a couple of spots higher. I could see Nebraska getting a couple of spots higher. Michigan State is the one, like I could see that being a program that this year gets into the top half of the Big Ten and finishes like 8th or 9th in the conference standings.
They were hurting there for a while. They were hurting with their finances. I know that some of their players quit the team because they weren't getting NIL money that was promised to them. I mean, that word gets out. That's not good.
No,
they got to recover from that a little bit too, and I think that Pat will bring that together.
Yes.
Were you at the Northwestern tailgate this year when I had friends of friends whose kid played at Northwestern? They tailgated with us, and they texted Pat.
I don't think I was.
They were FaceTiming Fitzgerald.
Oh, is that right?
We were talking like, oh man, because if I had told you the story at the time, it's the hardest hit I've ever delivered in my lifetime. And it's hands down easily the hardest person I've ever hit in my life. Is that he had about 84 tackles us in 1995. And it was to the point where their D-line's job was to hold us and then make Pat Fitzgerald make every tackle. So me and Jeff are double teaming. We're running the power off of our butts. So me and Jeff double team, and then Mark Walker comes around pulling around and kicks out the linebacker. So we double team the 3 technique to the middle linebacker. Sure as hell, the guy holds me, holds Jeff. Fitzgerald plays over top, makes the tackle. So I'm pissed. So Hardings is like, I'll take care of this guy. You take care of him. So I was all right. And I just went straight beeline. And, as a linebacker, you got to feel the play a little bit before it hits you.
Yeah.
He didn't feel the play before it hit him because I didn't care about the D tackle. I was just like, I'm ear holing this dude is what I'm doing. And I'm telling you, Jeff. So football helmets back then, they used to get cuts in it and grooves and stuff like that. So, and every week that Northwestern would paint their helmets and we would polish ours. So there were paint pockets in there. And it was a paint pocket that I hit him so hard that it popped. And I had like a spray of pink of purple on my face. And I was on top of him. And I was like, dude, great hit. He was laughing his ass. And I was like, this guy's crazy, first of all, because I just tattooed him so bad. So we FaceTimed him last year at the tailgate and this and that. And, I think he was at his son's game somewhere because I think he had a couple in him. And he goes, yeah, he asked how these tasted. And I was like, good for you, brother. Good for you. You can work with me at any time and all. So, yeah, so I very interested to see how Pat does there. And it's Sparty is always has been and always will be that sleeping giant. Like they have that attitude of the little brother syndrome versus Michigan. They hate them. And every once in a while they'll put it together and they'll make it happen. But every time they put it together, it'll be Pat Fitzgerald.
I think so too. I'm really curious to see again this year a little bit, but more so over the next 3 or 4 years, kind of how that thing starts to come together and what type of a move they're able to make in the conference. And again, the Big Ten is not an easy conference to make headway in. Because of the caliber of coaching, because of the money involved with the established big name programs, it's just much like the SEC. It's just hard to make a move, but it feels to me like Michigan State is a program that could make a pretty big move both this season and certainly over the course of the next few years as well. We'll take a break here and be back with much more. It is the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube.
You look a bit nervous, hey?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, The Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7, The Fox, State College.
And we are back on a Tuesday afternoon as we roll on. It's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show here from Quaker Steak and Lube. Again, the all-you-can-eat wing buffet getting underway here as we go off the air in less than a half hour from now. Get yourself down here and enjoy to your heart's content. Hoping the weather holds off. We've got a Little League game we got to get in here tonight. Feels from in here
the threat of rain in the Pennsylvania area, not just the State College area, is going to preclude that. They're going to call it off right now for you.
Don't even.
How many games would that be canceled this year? 30 out of 32.
It has been a rough spring. That is for sure.
I just can't get over the weather.
Yeah, we've had no spring weather. We've gone from
summertime to
late winter to the middle of summer, and then we're going to go back to late winter. But those comfortable high 60s, low 70s days, mid 60s. To mid 70s, well, like we've had none of it.
I agree,
and that's the best part of the weather pattern. That's what you want is more weeks of that. We're getting no days.
Fall, baby. That's my favorite time of year. You know that.
Brutal.
Absolutely. Right. So I was at the in-laws' house, and usually the pool is open Memorial Day weekend. With it being 42 degrees next weekend, I don't think there's a real rush to get the pool open and heated.
I suppose not.
I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Holy crap, man. But maybe the summer will last a little longer. Maybe, who knows? El Nino, La Nina, all that crap, all the same stuff.
There is definitely a Pennsylvania and Penn State flavor to Final X in wrestling coming up here in a few weeks with the results of both the World Team Trials and the U.S. Open. A couple of interesting stories that came out of the World Team Trials. Obviously, Zane Rutherford, the fact that he was in them to begin with, and it's really interesting. He just kind of had the itch to compete. Ran it by his wife, ran it by the coaches. Everybody said, let's go do it. And made the decision just less than 2 weeks before the event that, let's go give this a shot. And he goes out and wins it and is in Final X. And again, he is just a unique competitor, as Zane Rutherford is. And it'd be neat to see if he can make the world team and get another shot at this. And then, maybe and I don't even know if it's in his thought process right at the moment, but I think if he goes to the Worlds, it's got to get that itch going if he can stay healthy to at least think about the Olympic Games here in a couple of years.
Is he the one who cuts his head's always cut?
Yes.
How did that last?
Came through it fine.
Okay.
This
scary that's the injury you were, his head splitting open. But
yeah, well, I mean, concussions is why he pretty much semi-retired, I guess we would call it now, since he's back. But we'll be interesting to see.
So
James,
in international, I'm sorry, international, you're not made to wear headpieces.
Correct.
Are you allowed to wear a headpiece?
Yes, you're allowed to.
Okay.
I don't know that anybody does.
Even if he has a concussion issue, he wouldn't wear like a concussion
not
buffer.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if he sustains another one.
What is the downside to the headpiece?
I think it's just the comfort level and feeling free to do what you want.
Okay. I'm glad you're here. Answer these stupid questions,
else.
But I'm sure people actually find them interesting.
Well, I think
fellow stupid people.
Well, I'm right there. Believe me. Jaden James, I will say, is right there. And I've been thinking about this, and I've been talking on some different podcasts and stuff. I just, the way this lineup, with this 5-5, and again, I'm presuming that is what we have to work with in the upcoming year. I'll be shocked if that doesn't go through on Friday. It does make the battles in that room absolutely fascinating. And I have I could make guesses, but why would I? I'm not going to alienate kids that I'll be covering. I'm just telling you, there are hammers, like elite guys that are not going to be in that starting lineup. And when I say elite guys, I mean guys that could go on and win Olympic gold, like that type of caliber of talent that might not be able to crack the starting lineup in the upcoming season. And again, it just is fascinating because the thought process, my thought process, I don't even know 100% that this is what the team or the kids or coaches were thinking, but I was thinking, hey, Marcus Blaze, you can take a year, really work on developing your game. You have Ono, you have Nate Desmond, figure out who goes where at 33 and 41. Let Marcus develop for a year, really, focus on just getting better. And then let's, see how it all plays out the following year. Well, now you have, and there are a couple of people that I'm not sure fans are understanding how good they are. And Nate Desmond is one of them. Again, Luke Lillidahl, I just saw Flow Wrestling came out with their international rankings. And, again, it's people's opinions, but I mean, Flow follows this stuff closely. They have Luke Lillidahl as the number one wrestler in the world right now. Well, Nate Desmond beat, and again, this is freestyle. I get it. I don't need anybody.
Come on,
I
Jeff.
know it's two different things. I am telling you, Nate Desmond beat Luke Lillidahl in a wrestling match. And Luke Lillidahl right now is considered by some experts as the best wrestler. And it'd be hard to argue against him right at the moment in the world at his weight class. So, I mean, Nate Desmond is a special talent. You obviously have Ono, who's a world already established as a world champion. You have Marcus Blaze, who is a phenom and may very well be on the world team this year with Luke Lillidahl. We'll see how, obviously they both have tough matches coming up, but you have 4 like top end. And by the way, there are several other guys that are maybe not quite as accomplished at this point of their careers as those guys, but that are very good and are coming on and getting better and better. But again, you only have 3 weight classes there, and you have 4 guys that are at least 4, and there's a couple of others that probably are knocking on the door of being in that rarefied air. And then it's even more so when you go 57 to 74 and the different ways that could play out for Penn State this season. And again, everybody now is vying for a starting spot because you're not going to concede a year any longer. And so you have Tyler Kasak, who has just been the alpha dog of alpha dogs in that room, right? Like, I mean, he is, throw me whatever challenger you want. I'm the best in the room. I'm the best in the country. I'm the best in the world. Let's see what we got. So you have Tyler Kasak, who I can't imagine anybody ever betting against him. You have PJ Duke, who, again, I think most of us were presuming was going to take a year off and then be the heir apparent to Mitchell Messenbrink. Well, now, you have to believe PJ and Jaden James, and listen, they may both be looking at, not inside their mind, they may both be saying to themselves, listen, I can take out Mitchell Messenbrink. As great as he is, their mindset is such, I have to believe, just again, that, if I want that spot. Now, I don't know that they would wrestle off with them. I don't, maybe they just both make the move up to 74, or maybe they do. Regardless, there's, again, a logjam of elite talent. And then that's to say nothing of guys like Connor Mirasola, Asher Cunningham, Dalton Perry's is biding his time. I mean, the battle for starting jobs in that Penn State room for the last 3 years has been, I mean, since Cal has come here, it's been fascinating. But the last 3 years, it's like, whoa. This year, because of the red shirt going away, I mean, it's amplified another 5-10 times in terms of the caliber of guy. And Joe Seeley was where I was going when I started this. But I mean, Seeley at 57, 65, 74 is a guy, again, you could be talking about a future Olympic champion that may not, and I'm not betting against him. I'm not ruling it out that he'll be in that starting lineup, but I'm saying he could be an odd man out, and after his college career ends, go on and win, Olympic gold. Like, that's the type of situation that Penn State has. And again, you have that at a few weights. I mean, is it possible that Ono, again, you're talking about a world champion, can't crack the starting lineup in folk style? Yeah, I mean, as we sit here today, do I think that's possible? Yes, because Nate Desmond and Marcus Blaze are also really good guys, and they've obviously, great wrestlers, and they've obviously been wrestling folk style a whole lot longer than Masa Ono. So it is just going to be wild to see how all of this ultimately plays out. Pirates open up. I do think the best thing for the Pirates is that they are getting out of Pittsburgh after this series with the Phillies, and just try to regroup, go play some baseball. It just I think that series is a lot more devastating to the fans than it is for the players. Again, over the course of a baseball season, you're going to have week-long slumps, and you're going to have weeks where you're red hot, no matter how good or how bad of a team you are. Like, those two scenarios are going to play out. And I don't know. I'm sure there was some excitement because of the full ballparks and all of that for that series with the Phillies. But I really don't know that the players are all that impacted by, it stinks that we lost 3 straight to the Phillies, but let's go take 3 straight from the Cardinals in St. Louis, and it's a wash. The fans, again, it was devastating. You're primed, you're ready to go. I think
6-run lead Friday night.
Well, that was the thing. The way that thing fell apart, and then kind of the same thing Sunday with Skeens is rolling along, and then all of a sudden he's not. Right? I mean, the first 4 innings were sensational, and he looked untouchable. And then all of a sudden,
him and Wheeler,
he's getting. Yeah, no, it was the pitching matchup.
It was like one of those guys. There's one of those games that you got to watch this.
Yeah, and Skeens, I don't know how much of it played into it, but Skeens had gone 8 innings in each of the previous 2 starts, and it was. It did look like he just kind of hit the wall there in the 6th. The 5th was, you give up a couple of runs. All right, let's go back. But then
Harper's locked in right now.
Yeah, but the ball got crushed on those first 2 at bats in the 6th, and you could just see he'd run out of steam. And then the Pirates just, they have the home run taken away with the right call, obviously, with the fan interference, but it's like, again, you're celebrating. Hey, we got on the board. Oh no, actually you didn't. And it just so I think it is good that the Pirates are out of town. Regroup a little bit. Ideally, obviously, have at least a winning road trip so you build some momentum again, coming back to the Berg, and see if you can get things cranked up again here on the other side of the road trip.
You're going to Memorial Day this weekend. You said they're on the road this week.
Yep.
You're right. It's a good thing for the team as well as the fans. They're not sitting there and they're not at home getting booed or this or that, because they haven't been booed in how many years? They have nothing's been expected of them. This was the first time anything was expected of them. This
they just
weekend.
get a bunch of yawns. No boos. Just,
that's okay.
You guys out there? I'll be a son of a gun.
Oh, but they're a fun team to watch. It's a great building to watch a game too. So they'll be all right. They'll be just fine.
I think so. Although the National League Central, I keep saying, and I still believe it, that eventually this does have to. Some of these teams have to start coming down to earth, but there's still everybody in the division is above 500, which is just kind of crazy.
I think the Phillies and Pirates have the same record right now, and the Phillies are in 2nd place, pushing for 1.
Yeah, although the Phillies are, what are you? You're like 8 or 9 games out still, right? Behind Atlanta. And the Pirates are like 5 games out, I think. I'm close. If I'm off on either of those, I apologize, but I think that's about right.
Yeah, but it's as well as I do. But it's the whole. They're going to have 3 of these things over the summer where they're going to win 8 in a row or lose 8 in a row. This is how baseball is, and it's the dog days, and Pirates will be fine.
Yeah,
but this
no,
is
I
the
think so,
third
too.
series that I know of in a row. The third in a row. That was a sweep. Both were sweeps last year at their home field. This was the only time that the Phillies swept in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So last year they both won all 6 games at home. So that we'll see when the Phillies play again. I'm not gonna look it up when they're gonna play. Your boy Allen, he's down a couple cases of beer.
Not good.
After that beating.
Not good at all.
And then the Flyers, Penguins. Oh, jeez. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's been
Hey.
Steelers and Eagles though.
Hey,
in
not
Philly,
the Buffalo Sabres, buddy.
Chance to get it back. Aaron Rodgers outplaying Jalen Hurts. It'll all be good.
Oh, of course. Jalen Hurts shouldn't be out there. Aaron Rodgers eating butterscotch ice cream. It's everybody knows what's going on.
All wonderful stuff. I do.
By the way, tough one Sunday for the lacrosse team.
Yeah.
That Princeton team was damn good, brother.
They are, yes.
How the hell were we 8? I know that there were some issues going. Do you know what they were? I did not look into that.
How were we?
The
What?
seeding. How did we get an 8 seed when we should have been? People saying we should have been ranked a lot higher than 8.
Yeah, I think the losses kind of. It's one of those things.
But as the Big
you
Ten
want
champion, you should have had a little more depth.
Yeah, some bad losses in there though. That it just, I mean, it's we get into the same conversations, right? It's like when Notre Dame football lost to Northern Illinois. It's like, well, yeah, you had some good wins for sure, but you can't pretend that the Northern Illinois loss didn't occur. And yeah, Penn State lost. I mean, earlier in the season, I get it, but it's still it's on the resume, and yeah, it. But yeah, Princeton.
Princeton pretty good.
That's a very, very good cross team.
Last team to wear the blue and white Nikes.
Is that true? I guess that is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's done. Everybody's season's over. We kick off Nike June 1 or July 1 with Adidas, I think.
Is track and field over? They still have their. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, that's I think everybody else at least.
What is your feel personally like deep down on that? Do you feel as if we owed Nike anything, being one of their first, like the first? I don't think we owed them anything.
No.
Okay. I'm the same milk as you then. I mean, it was like we don't owe them squat. If anything, I think that they abandoned us a little bit.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't even. Yeah, business is business. You're owed what you're owed during the course of a contract, and when the contract's up, that's,
what's best for you.
Yeah, on both sides, and that's, I don't know, that's just the way the world works, but yeah, I don't think you owe anybody anything once you've paid the debt to whatever contract you're under. Once that's
well, my whole thing with the whole
you're ready to move on.
Why were we never a Jumpman school? If that was the top of the line, Nike, that was their top universities. Why was Penn State, who they constantly touted as their first? They loved us for decades, loved us. And then the 2011 scandal hits and all that, and I don't know. Did they run from us? Did they support us? I don't know. But did Nike actually have an opportunity to? Have I heard of the Adidas contract is $300 million? Was Nike given an opportunity to match that $300 million as a long time? I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know. But I am interested to see the new gear and stuff like that. It is funny talking to guys. Like, I don't know. We ever have a chance to talk to Rogers Alexander? He's absolutely hilarious when he talks about the 82 national title game. It's like we had just first gone to Nike then, and everybody was like, they hated the Nike shoes. just absolutely hated it. So they all spatted them up, and then they drew the Nike logos on there, but they were wearing like, I don't remember what they were. They were either wearing Adidas, they were wearing Spot Builts or something like that. I don't think Converse had a football shoe then, but he's telling us, he goes, yeah, every one of us, we all wore, we spatted up our cleats.
Yeah.
And we just drew the Nike symbol in there because we didn't like the shoes. And by the
funny.
time I got there, like I talked to like OJ and Kijana, and they are devout Nike guys. They played in the NFL as Nike guys with Nike reps and stuff like that. Hell, Kijana was in Jerry Maguire as under the Nike wing. So they're both like, they love Nike to death. They don't like the deal, but they understand the deal.
Yeah.
And OJ said he won't wear no Adidas because he said Nike fits him better. And
yeah, brand loyalty is a funny thing.
It's a position thing. Offensive linemen don't give a crap. Does it make me look fat?
Yeah, you need that the slimming apparel.
That's the first person I tell you this. Who I called with about Adidas. I called Big Gus at Nebraska. I was like, Gus, what's up? What are we getting into with Adidas? He goes, Goon, it's the best clothes I ever had for a big boy. Best clothes I had. He goes,
there you go.
He goes, I've been wearing Adidas since the Miami days, and this is right after.
That's
so this is 12 and 13 and 14 when they were at Miami and Georgia, and then he went to Nebraska with Matt. But he absolutely loves it. He says it's big boy gear. He goes, they know how to fit a big man. So I was like, all right, I'm looking forward to our new Nike, our Adidas haul.
Another reason to be excited about the offensive line.
There we go.
For the upcoming season. All right, that is going to take care of things for today. We will be back on Thursday. Until then, be good and be safe.
You look a bit nervous, eh?
Thierry, what's it like to stand in the FIFA World Cup stadium?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Just tell me. Come on.
It's not something that you can put into words.
Such a tease.
You can't rush it. You will find out when it's your time.
Thanks for the wisdom, coach. So, how much longer?
Now go and make history, my man. Here's the World Cup you've been waiting for.
Actually, the World Cup's been waiting for me.
That's the spirit. Just remember who drove you here.
Inspiring every step of the next legend. The official matchball carrier, proudly sponsored by Kia. Inspiration connects us all.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak Lube.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXS, once again, the Fox, your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA Sports Authority. WFXS America.
98.7, the Fox State College.